Sue?
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
No.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
and Councilmember Barkus.
Yes. All right, number B, mid-block pedestrian crossings. Mike?
Yep, a few weeks ago, I briefed you on the pedestrian crosswalk signs installed on Foreman near Lowell Middle School. At that time, I ordered the signs removed because the city currently lacks an ordinance permitting signage requiring vehicles to yield to pedestrians at mid-block crosswalks. As I previously mentioned, I encountered a similar issue in my past. In response, I asked our city attorney to draft an ordinance allowing us to install signage for vehicles to yield at mid-block crosswalks. Attached is ordinance 2402, which provides for the signage at mid-block pedestrian crossings. This approval will enable us to reinstate the signs with updated wording updated wording where it previously said state law to yield to pedestrians. It would now be local law to yield to pedestrians. And I recommend that the Lowell City Council approve ordinance 24-02 as presented.
Perfect. Any questions?
Will these be like between the high school and Woodblock? There's that pedestrian walk there. Will this be more?
No, right now, the only one would be, well, one, we don't have control of Alton Nash, it's a county road.
No, she's
No, I
asking if they'll
understand,
be
but
the
like-
same.
Is it the same? So there's just like.
It's the same signs, yeah.
Okay.
All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have him get a sticker that takes over the state law and just say local. That's the only thing that's gonna
Okay.
be different.
Any other questions? Motion to approve ordinance 2402.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Any discussion? Sue?
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
Councilmember Salzweedl,
Yes.
Councilmember Barkus,
Yes.
and Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
The board and commission.
I have seen nothing.
All right.
Hey, the next week.
Me too. Jim?
All coming up.
Eric? Same. Perfect. City managers report, Mike.
Okay, Washington Street. We anticipate at some point this week they're gonna be beginning the base coat. Obviously, the weather's kind of played a role in this. They were actually hoping to do base tomorrow and later in the week put the top coat down. But that's not gonna happen. It looks like it's just gonna be the base coat this week someday when the rain goes away and it's not gonna be an issue with the paving. Once I get more information, I can let you know. Also, when they pave, when they do put the top coat on Main Street at Washington, there will be traffic. Traffic will be open. They'll have flaggers. So they'll pave the one side, so there'll still be east-west travel. They'll pave the one side. Once that's ready to be done, they'll swap it over to the other side and pave that. So there won't be the closures and the detours like we had back in the summer months. On the police chief update, we did interviews on the 21st, I'm sorry, the 22nd. We interviewed 4 candidates. We have some very, very good candidates. They will be doing their assessment centers this week, and I will be paring down the candidates, most likely to 2 candidates, once I get the results from the assessment center. On Monday, December 3rd, at between 5 and 7, there will be an event at the Showboat to meet the police chief candidates. I'll have more information as to who those candidates are once I go through the process here in the next week or 2.
It's open to the public.
Yeah, it's open to the public. It's a public meet and greet.
You know.
So.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were around, but we did it back when we did the city manager search. We did, what was it, Grand Maloof? Is that what it was
Yeah,
called?
apparently.
Yeah, the ballrooms up there. We did a meet and greet. We put the city manager candidate in each little area and let the general public, community stakeholders. I was going to send out invitations to all the local churches, stuff like that, businesses.
It'll probably
Lighthouse
be
came
on the
milling.
second floor.
It'll be on the second floor,
All
yeah.
Santa stuff.
Yeah,
will be
it'll
set
be on the
up
second
on
floor.
the first floor.
So if we don't like any of them, we just ask Santa for a new police chief.
Put it on our wish list.
Yeah, all right.
We'll see.
I think we got good candidates.
Yeah, we have some very good candidates. The Monroe Street Island, last week, Rich and I did go talk to the business owners, the property, and the businesses surrounding Monroe Street here, just about any concerns about the island. Primarily, everyone was pretty supportive of it. I didn't get to talk, there was a couple I still haven't had a chance to talk to yet, but Rich and I didn't get any resistance from anyone we talked to about moving forward with that. So, hope to have that bid out and constructed in early spring. Early voting. Early voting ended on Sunday. We had close to 800 voters participate. We have, I believe, 31 or 3,200 registered voters in the city. So that's a pretty good turnout,
Yeah.
considering we had like 60 and 30 before. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's close to 25% of all the voters. And I know absentee-wise, they've gotten quite a bit of absentees come in as well. So
That number's separate from,
that's
Yeah.
separate, yeah. That's, I want to say, Susie told me this morning, I want to say there were like 700-800
Yeah.
absentees as well. No, I'm sorry, I think it was even higher than that.
It was,
that's incredible.
I think it was around 900. 'cause
I think
passed
you're right.
as well.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Turnout.
We've had a lot of, we've had a lot of voters, which is pretty good. So, and then obviously tomorrow's the big day. So, we're getting a lot. We've had this issue for years. It's an issue my staff has bugged me about. I know some council members have mentioned it to me. The trees here in front of City Hall. They drop these fruit things, and we spend hours and hours cleaning them. And they come through the building and they track through the building, and it's a frustration for my staff. City ordinance allows me to remove trees. I plan to remove those trees and replace them in the spring. I'm just letting everyone know now, because it's you watch them. A better use of our staff spending 2 hours doing landscape stuff in front of these trees, a couple times a week is just kind of ridiculous at this point. So we're going to be removing and replacing those trees. Rich is going to look at some landscaping options as well to make it look really nice when it's done. Lastly, I did meet last week with the Michigan Infrastructure Office grant assistance. As you know, they were seeking grants for us for Brook Street and James Street. They found no new grants that we were eligible for. We're just not big enough, we're not depressed enough, but the Category B grant that I've informed you about that would be available to us in the spring, they did indicate that that was probably our best choice. Now there's the process of that they can actually write the grant for us, so I'm going to be submitting a request for them to write those grants for us when they come about, so I'll know more in the next couple of months on that. So that's all I have.
When we're looking at trees, the tree in front of the Arts Council is heaving the sidewalk up probably 2.5 inches
Oh, really?
over the curb. The one between Eric and I, that's starting to
Okay.
lift the pavers.
Okay.
And because we've been talking about this, the one down there by Regan's is blowing the bricks out
Oh,
on the end. So if we're gonna be looking at trees, and those 2 trees by Larkin's old building are those berry trees too, and we get those tracked in.
so you have the fruit bearing trees over there. as
Yeah,
well.
the Arts Council's getting them in,
Yeah,
everybody,
they should.
I'm assuming you guys even get them.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
And
be
they're
looking at those.
a pain in the rear.
Those are not appropriate trees to be putting in a streetscape.
And the trees with that will will not be fruit bearing trees.
Absolutely not.
Even on the arbor board, we discussed that, and it's just
Yeah.
something we just do not want to see come back.
And
Even though they're beautiful for,
Yep.
in the spring, they're just nasty the rest of the
Yep.
year.
By my understanding, it's a crapshoot whether they flower and that's it, or they flower and they make berries. And every one of ours flowers and makes those berries. But yeah, I wanted to bring that to your attention. I was out on the sidewalk Sunday, and we're gonna look at.
Didn't the city workers just go around and look at all the grates and all that good stuff
They did.
and clean them and do them for you? So you got a pretty good record of now what is in each grate, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we cleaned up around them,
Mhm.
basically mulched them and remove the grates because the trees
We
are
also,
getting too
we
big.
also talked about this foam that can be put in there instead of the grates that the water comes through, but they're safety, they're not trip hazards, they're a little bit more expensive, but it looks good. But again, if it's the tree that's causing the issue, they need to come up.
Yeah. I mean,
Because they only get so big a root out there, it's not like there's a lot of soil or land underneath for them to expand, so where else are they gonna grow?
Any other questions, concerns? All right, I don't have any movement on appointments. I've been leaving Susie alone. She's been pretty busy this last week. How about some council comments, Mr. Barkis?
I would just like to thank the election team that's done a fantastic job with the 10 days of early voting. So hats off to Sue Ellery, our clerk, and Amy Brown, the deputy clerk, and all of the workers that have spent their weekends 8 to 4 every day and every day during the week to just, it's been very smooth. I voted a few days ago and I hope it's smooth tomorrow. And I know that just, again, Sue, every election, she has to take the ballots downtown tomorrow night at 2 a.m. And that's just hats off to her. So thank you.
Jim?
I wanted to add one comment in regarding the stop signs. A lot of times I sit out on my porch and there is a stop sign coming off of North down to Jefferson. And my wife and I bet whether they're gonna stop or what it is. And I'm gonna say most of them is a rolling stop. I'm gonna say 60-70% come almost to that part of it, and then it's gas and boom straight through or a hard left. But again, it's a concern, and my thing is, I don't know if they'll stop completely, but if it slows them down and makes it a little safer, that's a pretty good deterrent too. I just recommend everybody out. If you haven't voted, get out and vote tomorrow.
Mike, go with me.
I'd like to thank Sue and her staff. 10 days she has to be here straight to do this voting. That's a lot for anybody to give up 10 days of your family and time. And she does it with a smile on her face, which I find quite amazing. Voter turnout obviously has been very good, so if you haven't, do it tomorrow. That's it.
All right, I brought Brady here this weekend. He voted for the first time, and I came in on a Saturday afternoon when it was gorgeous outside, expecting a bunch of election workers that were only here because they had to be here, and I found quite the opposite. They were in great moods. They were super helpful. He was obviously nervous. They were awesome with him. He got to sit down and fill out his first ballot and put it in a little machine. And, so I'm grateful every election, but with as extended and as contentious as this one has been, I'm especially grateful. Leah?
All right, I will echo my thanks to all involved in the early voting process. I came last week, and they were just happy to be here, which is, it's just nice when you walk in and somebody is greeting you with a smile and happy that you're showing up. So that was cool to see. I will also say, if you haven't voted, please vote. And then with that, you are all the lucky ones to hear it first. Tonight, I am announcing a 30-day notice of my resignation. And so I have written a bit, and for a full comment, you can read Lowell's first look tomorrow morning. But with that, I have struggled to accurately describe my experience serving the city of Lowell and how to appropriately thank and express enough thanks to so many. Below is my attempt to do so. In discussion as a team, I was asked what the biggest thing I've learned is. I joked that showboats are expensive, that the opinions of others are louder than I imagined. But what I didn't say, and will say right now, is that serving alongside the mayor, Mike Poor, former councilman Cliff Yankovich, current councilman Marty Chambers, Jim Salzwedel, Eric Barkis, our city manager Mike Burns, and our delightful city clerk Sue Ulrey has been a milestone in my life that I never saw for myself, and I thank my lucky stars I got to experience. Included in this thanks is all city staff and department heads, along with the boards in which help them execute and operate at the high level they do. Each of these people have shaped my experience on City Council into one I'll never forget. Furthermore, I'd like to express my sincerest gratitude to the voters, the citizens who trusted me to lead, to carry their concerns and care for them with respect and utmost responsibility. But most of all, I'd like to thank my children, Layton and Beck, for seeing me through this growth, for watching me struggle, stretch, and expand my thinking in order to serve the way I wish to, for allowing me Monday nights, weekends, evenings of prep and discussion, being stopped in stores and giving me patience to engage with citizens, for attending almost nearly every Park and Rec meeting for the past 4 years, for seeing me through the season, and for expressing their pride in me. Everything I have ever done as a mother was to better the world. I am proud that City Council helped me maintain that. I am proud to have cultivated the life I live for myself and my boys. Serving the city of Lowell was a guiding post for me to do that. I am indebted to the city for its commitment, dedication, and progression it has accepted while I've served. I hope the city continues to move forward with perseverance, humility, and love for the best tomorrows. My hope is that whoever fulfills this position does so with grit for the hard days, zest for the long days, grace for the slow days, joy for the exciting days, and compassion for every day. That was all. Thanks.
Thank you, Leah. All right, I will now look for a motion to go into closed session to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute.
I'll make that motion.
Support. Any other discussion? Sue?
Councilmember Barkus,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Groves,
Yes.
Mayor DeVore,
Yes.
and Councilmember Salzweedl.
Yes.
Get out.